It's Week 8 of the National Football League.
And coming up, we'll see Stephon Diggs. He's coming off a week where he stuffed the stat sheet in both yards and touchdowns.
It's the Bills and the Saints, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
It is always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Meanwhile, Jones throw complete there to Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Now Jones. Going right back to Michael Thomas. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Well, he's one of the top receivers in the game, Charles, so no surprise here on the opening drive. They want to get him involved, and he has catches on back-to-back plays.
And, Brandon, I look at it from the defense's perspective. You know he's one of the top receivers in the game. You've got to find ways to slow him down, because if he gets into high gear, he's going to shred you all game long.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Throwing Jones. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jair Alexander in from the corner to make the sack. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're on offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
3rd down and 13. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This one swung out to Williams. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done. Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. Mariota's throw taken in by Diggs. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And just shedding him off there. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 more on that one and another first down.
Okay, ready?
Again, it's Kamara. He will push his way down to about the 14. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. This is 2nd and 8. Mariota. And he's got it. And the Bills are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bills are on the board first here this afternoon. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Operating from the gun. Jones under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. It's taken to the 26. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
So this game, Charles, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Now it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Mariota. Catch is made by Metcalf. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive here with Gainwell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Off the play fake. Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
You look at this Buffalo defense. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Come on, set.
Now Mariota. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
21-0 our score after 1. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got it as we resume action. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now here's a throw that's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he is going to have a Saints first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And this will be a jet sweep. Here's Thomas with it. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
26-yard line. Flick right, flick right, flick right.
They try the left side here with Williams. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one. No gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Marcus Mariota with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Bills continue to pull away here in this first half. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
You ain't going nowhere.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 2nd down, Gainwell looking for space. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Jones now on 3rd down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Carlos Basham gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
This is taken around the 12. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate Keep him right in his zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Steps away to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Well, the focus goes back to Chris Olave, the Saints offense.
Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Back to throw. Jones.
Olave over the middle.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Here we go, hey.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
Tyus Bowser in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and it's the Patriots leading that one in the second quarter. Mac Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head over to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home, Ford Field, and they have the lead over the visiting Washington Commanders. A touchdown there for Jahmyr Gibbs. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. Tua Tagovailoa leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Bills to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. They start the second half with Kamara. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the...
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He has been a workhorse. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Okay, the fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Kamara up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll get 34 yards there.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Escaping the pressure right. Got a man, that's Lazard. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Kamara is in. Touchdown, Bills.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 42-0.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Jones on first down. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 95 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Ready. 10 cycles.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. They'll come up 2nd and 7. The left side caught by Diggs. And he's brought down. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. The catches for him just keep piling up in his career. He's now at 1,024. And that ties Isaac Bruce, the number that he had back in the day.
Yeah, part of the greatest show on turf. And remember, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt combined for nearly 2,000 catches in their...
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Bills have got it on cruise control. Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On 2nd down, Williams. And this will wind up as Saints first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, I'm going to give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Operating from the gun, Jones. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He'll field this at the 5. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out.
And a nice spin into some open field. Alvin Kamara. He's to the 10. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 83 yards. And the Bills get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones under pressure, and down he goes. Chase Young able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
I got you, boy.
Taken in at the 22. Oh, what a move. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one, because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, third quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us.
Down. Ready?
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
On the set. Set.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Powering his way forward. Still going. He's still on his feet. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Alvin Kamara with a milestone here. Touchdown number 200 for his brilliant career. And the Bills add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Here we go, hey.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Slant pass complete to Olave. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Jones. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game. Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones, and Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving. Jones hit and the ball's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown. And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home? I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often. No, they're not choreographed very well usually. Elliott on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Here we go.
Now Jones throwing to start the drive.
Now the ball comes loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Mariota's throw caught here by Metcalf. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Bills on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Open man is Diggs. He's got him. Touchdown, Bills. Stephon Diggs. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Bills are poised to move to 8-0 as they extend their lead even further. Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
56.
Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Tyus Bowser. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say.
And he's going to go down again. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And taken right on the 30. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mariota. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Forced out to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brian Brzee fought in and got him down. The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, Both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Jones throw caught by Olave. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing, Jones. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Ready.
A give. This is Kamara. Oh, a nice spin. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 4 yards the pickup. First down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. They run it again with Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for Buffalo, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Saints, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.